Hey, what's up, y'all? This is CeeLo Green, and I want to thank you all for checking out Radio 103.9.
Now, you are now tuned in to Radio 103.9 New York.
The only Radio 103.9 Tom Joyner Mornings, and of course, New York's best R&B in the studio. The legendary, genius.
Oh, stop.
CeeLo Green.
What's up, big brother?
Man, let me tell you something. CeeLo, you know you're a genius when you have 3 or 4 careers, but some people, when I say soul food and I say cell therapy, they may not even know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you know you're huge. I know him from, the TV shows. I know him from, And So Crazy. I know him from, I didn't know he rapped.
That's crazy.
You didn't know he rapped? He had some of the coldest, me and my family moved into an apartment complex.
That's right.
Coldest lines that live on today.
Thank you.
That's when you know.
Thank you, man.
So, first of all, man, great to see you again, man.
It's taken about 20 years to be an overnight success.
And CeeLo, was there, when we first saw you with Goody Mob and those classics, and people, I loved your singing, and we loved your rapping. Mm-hmm. And I think, you're like, man, I hope this guy really, he is so talented. I hope the rest of the world will see all his talents.
Yeah.
And then you look up, and boom, Crazy, and the other success, and it kind of happened.
Yeah, it did.
In a rare case.
Very rare.
A rare case.
Very peculiar and unorthodox, yeah.
Right, a brother who's deep and talented, and his fans knew, the world got a chance to know. How does that feel, number one, CeeLo? When it started to break, how did that feel? When you were like, wow, were you expecting it? Did you think it was always going to happen, or were you surprised?
No, I mean, I think I was more preoccupied with the work. Mm. As I've said on numerous occasions, like throughout the Goody Mob era, we considered ourselves to be more activists than artists. We would, call ourselves fighting for the civil rights of Southern hip hop. You know what I mean? So that was truly felt purposed. And that was my preoccupation then. So I can't say that. The work was enjoyable because we're committed in that way and genuine in that way, and so just continue on. So no, I've never been self-serving. It's all always been about for me, giving it back. You know what I mean? Because one thing I will say that I was endowed with it, well endowed. And so my cup runneth over, so I had a lot to share.
Does that feel good to say that? I wish I could say that one day. I'm just well endowed. That's great to hear.
Yeah, man.
I've never said that in my life.
Artistically,
you know
what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's just about sharpening and polishing that tool, you know what I mean, and utilizing it, for what it's worth. So.
And man, you've used it. I think the thing that I love also, CeeLo, is because of your success with Gnarls Barkley and producing and writing in genres that surprise people. Yeah. I think the South, people put the Southern artists in a box a lot of cases.
They do.
But you've had, bet you think my girlfriend was sent like right. A lot of people didn't know that was you.
Yeah.
And you were able to again have a form of expression that I think surprised people. But there's just so much talent, especially like you said, the Dungeon Family with Andre and Outkast and that whole Atlanta. You guys have a whole bunch jumping off. And you actually, and some others have had a chance to show the world that the South isn't just about that R&B or that
Absolutely.
One specific sound.
Absolutely not.
Blues.
No, we definitely wanted to draw the distinction between being Southern and being country. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we were just discussing a little bit earlier today on how the origin, where it begins is, being an avid reader and writer. You know what I'm saying? Like before entertainer, or MC, and so on and so forth. So. I mean, I've always considered myself to be a writer, whether it was, I've set and written, treatments for film ideas, television shows, playwrights, you know what I mean? Just my own memoirs or just, journalistic, writing. So I've tried it all,
And I think interestingly, the Southern, rappers in a sense, are continuing the rich history of Southern writers. Because I listen, you and T.I. and different artists. It's like when you go to Jamaica
Right.
and you hear a brother talk, and there's a rhythm, and there's the words are important.
Exactly.
And in the South, it feels it's the same way.
No doubt about
And
it.
I think you've always exemplified that with your verses and even just in interviews,
Yes,
just
sir.
kind of like the power of the words.
No doubt about it.
And like when I pulled up Self Therapy today and your verse, first of all, the song is relevant today, almost more relevant today than it was back then because it was futuristic.
That's right.
And your verse, definitely that. I'm not going to read it because I did write it out because it is one of my favorite verses. But, that. And then even with a crazy, which became a mega monster, bigger than ever a hit.
Right.
It's your voice and what the song is saying always it makes you feel a certain kind of way. When you did it for the first time when you're putting it down, did you say, okay, yeah, this is gonna resonate with people like that, or did it surprise you how successful it was?
You know what? And even to go back and to answer the first question, and clearly, again, I was just more or less privileged to have something constructive to do and be a part of. So, and from a personal point of view, I just kind of felt that I felt purpose and I felt dutified. With ability and skill and also a message that I was bearing. So again, I don't know how enjoyable that may seem to people. So and so going through the Gnarls Barkley phase, it was more or less some escapism there, because you use like an alter ego or an alias to to channel another emotion and filter it through there. So with Crazy, I mean, I was going through a pretty trying time in my personal life. I was going through a divorce. I was going through a great deal of despair. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing I was being purged yet again. You know what I'm saying? Going through the fire to become golden. So with Gnarls Barkley, no, I didn't know. To answer the question, I really didn't know. I didn't think much of it. Me and Danger Mouse, a lot of people assume that I'm Gnarls Barkley alone. I do have a partner in the crime. His name is Danger Mouse.
He doesn't say much.
Yeah, he doesn't say much at all. It's still very relevant in working. And we just talked recently about doing another Gnarls Barkley album, so that's something to be excited about. But no, we just kind of got together, kind of in acknowledgement of each other. Like, hey, I like your work, and I did something, a remix of a record that he was working on for another project. He asked me, could he play me some records? And I was like, sure. Then he played me, like, out of the 8 things, maybe like 6, maybe all of them, maybe 4 or 5 of them became what's now known as Saint Elsewhere and Gnarls Barkley. So, yeah, that record right there, man. Look, man, it was such a stream of consciousness, and it was so organic and honest. You know what I mean? Like, you can only look back on it in retrospect and realize, how audacious it was. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have the audacity to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So
it was like perfect. It's like a perfect record. What's up with you and Bruno Mars, man?
I haven't talked to Bruno. You know what I mean? Like, Bruno.
You guys work a lot together, or
yeah,
your names in the same spot.
Man, when I first met Bruno, he and Phil Lawrence were at work, and this is just their humble beginnings, but they were like staff writers, and they were brought in, and this was around the time when I was recording Lady Killer, and I had opened up my creative space, and I just said I want to share it with people who are talented in their own right, and just kind of see what we can collaborate with, and I hadn't done that before, so I was introduced to them, and sure enough, we hit it off, and we just all kind of like became the best of friends, and just a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and like songs like can I say that here?
Yeah, go ahead.
So they came out of that sense of humor that we seem to share, and so much continued success to him, and I'm not surprised that he's gone on to become as renowned as he is.
So we got, for those of us who went all the way back with CeeLo, then you had kind of the new CeeLo, who was a singer. People kind of knew you as a singer. So with the new project, Are we going to see both? Who are we going to see on this project?
This is definitely the CeeLo Green of Lady Killer.
Okay.
And of
I'm going to catch some verses, baby.
You know what, man?
We ain't catching no verses.
Let me tell you something. The only disappointing part about having to release an album at a time is that I can't be everything that I am all in one.
Because you're a lot.
All in one help. Yeah, man. So
if you weren't a lot, you could do it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the opportunity to start being competitive in that way, because I see the new landscape is just, the competition is with quantity and content, and I've been kind of promoting that and just kind of impressing that upon the people, in my corner, just saying like, yo, this is how we got to rock. So I mean, like the young cats, man, they killing the game just with just overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So like, they putting weight on it, and I like that. I mean, like, so it's encouraged me a great deal. And in the 3 years that I've been recording this album, I got a great deal of material down. I got enough material for 4 albums. So this is just really the tip of the iceberg. You know what I mean? But
and it's Heart Blanche.
Heart Blanche.
It comes Heart Blanche. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I pulled it from.
I got you.
A lot of people don't know what that means, but it means to the ability to do as one wishes. You know what I'm saying? Like
access.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
November 13th, it'll be in stores.
Yeah.
And the
But I'm gonna give you some rap, though.
Give me some rap.
I'm gonna give you some rap.
Give me a taste.
I'm just saying. Like, But first things first, I'm gonna promote the hell out of this record.
Right. Give us this.
I want people to love and enjoy this record. This is definitely a re-entry point for me. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't released any new music in the last 5 years, so it's long overdue, and I really feel like making up for some lost time. But this is really exciting. It's a very mature album. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, and your voice, man, that voice, CeeLo. I never forget. I worked in Baltimore. I did mornings in Baltimore. You came through, and Crazy was funny because pop stations were on it hard, and Urban's took a while, and then a lot of the adult stations didn't necessarily play it.
Right.
But I remember in Baltimore, this old dude heard it, and he was like, "Who is that?" Everybody, they thought it was like somebody they knew. They thought it was an old school Al Green or this and that. And it's funny, your voice has always been like that, like the authentic deal. And I think that's one of the reasons people love it so much, man.
Yes, somebody called me a genuine article. I don't know if anybody knows what that means, but I had to go check it out. I'm like, okay, I'll take that.
Yes.
I take James, I take all of that. But all glory due, man, to the creator. You know what I'm saying?
Now, let me ask you this, man. This is like what kind of like just a general thing on success, CeeLo. So you've tasted the struggling rap artists from the South trying to get your respect. You know what I mean? You've also had the mega success piece. Mm-hmm. So when that happens, is the pressure and everything that comes with the fame, is it crazy? Is it overwhelming? Is it what everybody says it is, or is it overrated? You know what I mean? And can it get you distracted?
No, naturally it can be distracting. I'm thinking, unless you put some effort into attaining an ability to multitask. You know what I'm saying? So I think I put some energy there. I'm just like, how can I be cognizant, and present enough to be all these different people, to be a professional, to be provocative, as an artist, and to also be just a real person, and a co-parent. I got family, so like it's all coming from a real place, and something does suffer, but if communicated, you know what I mean, and everybody's supportive and understands what the dynamic is, then the love and the effort is reciprocated, you know what I'm saying, and everybody kind of chimes in and does their part. So I have help. It does take a village to do that. I have very sound people, you know what I mean, like around me on a professional and a personal level. But no, it hasn't been dizzying for me. You know what I mean? It's just been an adventure. You know what I'm saying? And I love the exploration. You know what I mean? Like I love the experience of just attaining the wisdom and going to these uncharted territories. And I mean artistically and so on and so forth, and planting my flag there. So like we've been here. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So and then I love it. Because I get the chance to be of what I like to consider myself an ambassador for for black music, and black entertainment, and push that line, push it as far and as forward as I can. You know what I mean? And I've been able.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Man, CeeLo Green, thank you so much. Thank you, brother. I think, again, you keep the artistic spirit alive for those who want to get in. And people say, well, it's different. You can't do this. You can't do that. You're kind of like that beacon of hope for those artists out there who still want to do what you're doing. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. The new album is coming out November 13th. Heart Blanche.
Yeah, Heart Blanche. And see, that's what I mean, even what you're saying. Like, that's the civil service that I'm about. And I mean, like, if I could succeed at that, then I could offer optimism to both artists and executives alike. I mean, like, to where this becomes, yet another option in getting there. So
CeeLo did it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here to work. I'm here to serve.
CeeLo Green, thank you, my brother.
For sure.
My man.
Definitely.